Welcome to Mr. Community. I am your host, Reggie Reg Davis, and I'm very proud to take on the caption or the it's not a surname, Reggie Reg Davis. Davis is my surname, Reggie Reg my nickname. But what type of name would that be? Al B.J. Williams, Mr. Community. It's an addict nickname. It was a phrase coined by our program director, Al Payne, and and it talks about me and the work I do in the community. So, Mr. Community, that's me.
Mr. Community.
Absolutely. Mr. Community. Yes, sir.
Mr.
Yes, sir.
Community.
Yes, sir.
I'm with you on that.
All right, and today I welcome a young gentleman who, at one point in time, I called him the 27-year-old political guru.
Man, that was
that was why. See, he's no longer 27, but he's still the political guru.
Man,
Al B.J. Williams.
What's
man,
up,
it's been a long time, man. You remember those days over at the other radio station, man?
I do. I didn't realize it's been 10 years,
man. You growing up, brother. Looking good.
Man, well, we got another important time on our hands right now, brother. So.
Absolutely. That's what we're going to talk about. It's time to vote. Get out to vote. We're watching the television set on the other side. You guys can't see it, but it is MSNBC, and we have Al Sharpton talking about voter registration. And matter of fact, he's talking about get out to vote. And what they're discussing right now, if I'm looking at the caption right, it says civil rights voter fraud, which is always an issue for us.
Yeah, Trump has started the voter fraud commission. That's what makes this election, this municipal election, not only in the city of Detroit, all around the state and all around the country, that much more important. If we're not careful, our voting rights will be snatched away from us in the blink of an eye with the president that we have. And so it's important that everyone gets out to vote this election. Your municipal election, your city election, it's much more important than the presidential election. It affects your daily lives day to day. If you don't think voting is important, look at who your president is now. If you don't think your voting is important, look at what happened in Flint. Elections have consequences, ladies and gentlemen. Elections have consequences. And if you do not get out and vote the right candidate in office, we'll have the same old thing and continue to lose community benefits, continue to lose our voting rights, continue to lose many things that we have taken for granted over the years that we have not only taken for granted, but that we've had because we've been able to open the door to democracy for individuals like me and you and improve the quality of life. Over the past 11 years, the quality of life in the state of Michigan and the city of Detroit has declined, unfortunately. And that's because elections have consequences. Get up, get out, get to the polls, and go vote.
I know that's right, Al B.J. Williams. We appreciate that, man. And earlier you said something to the effect about local elections. Local government is more important to us. Why is it that Detroit, the local elections for mayor, city council, city clerk, police commission, etc., is more important to us as a people than down on Capitol Hill?
That's because it affects your everyday life. You know, street lights is important. Fighting crime is important. Our police officers, and what they're going to do for the next 4 years, the police department is important. Jobs in our community, those are all things that are affected by your local elections. The water, we have the freshest water in the world, but the most expensive water in the world. And that's with a whole lot of programs, but at the same time, those are things that affect us on a day-to-day basis. For instance, community benefits, the Pistons moving to Detroit, the practice arena, those are all things, and jobs that become available for people like me and you. Those are all things that are affected by local elections, not the president, not the governor, but your local elections, the mayor, city council, city clerk. And the city clerk's race is just as important as everything else. Police commission. Police commissioners are your are the individuals, individuals that you have to go to and talk to when you have a police complaint, not the president of the United States.
Right, absolutely. You're right about that. And I want to talk about young people. When we talk about the city of Detroit and you take a look at numbers, somewhere in the area, I'm going to be off a little bit here and there when we talk about numbers, but in the election, the city election, about 4 years ago, there was an average of about 125,000 people who came out to vote.
Yeah.
And I believe that's in the general election, as a matter of fact.
Right.
And if you look at that, to show contrast, in 2001, when a young man who looked more like me and you with an earring in his ear, who we referred to as the hip-hop mayor, when he ran, there wasn't an average of 125,000. It peaked all the way up to almost 165, 170,000 people on that general election. It hadn't been the same since. How do we get the young vote out? If you got about 400 and some thousand people who are registered voters in the city of Detroit and only 125,000 of them show up at the polls, how do we get that other 300 and some thousand people to the polls? How do we wake up the sleeping giants?
Well, you gotta do programs just like this and more. You know, back then, that Kwame Kilpatrick actually had an active role in getting out the vote. The current mayor he's done a little bit of that, but a lot less. And so it's important for us to take on the responsibility of getting our own people out, making sure that the 18 to 35, you know, in the last election, 18 to 35-year-olds in Detroit turned out less than any other age group in the city of Detroit, which is ridiculous.
Wow.
when you come to think about how this election affects the next 4 years, the next 8 years of your life and improving your quality of life. If you're looking for a job, if you're looking to get out of the streets, if you're looking to make sure that your quality of life improves, if you're looking to make sure housing is affordable, water is affordable, and that crime goes down in your community, you need to step up, figure out who you're voting for, who the best candidate is, and get to the polls and vote. Actually, not voting is decreasing or is basically eliminating your voice in the process. If you don't get out and vote, if you don't take your souls to the polls, as the NAACP might say, then you've eliminated yourself from the decision-making process. This is about decisions. This is about your quality of life. This is about the resources that we have. Politics is about who gets what, when, and where. Who gets the resources, when do they get them, and where they get them. And if you don't vote, the same old neighborhoods that's been benefiting are going to continue to benefit. If your neighborhood doesn't get out and vote, if your age group doesn't get out and vote, your voice is lost in the process. I like to say, if you're not at the table, then you're on the menu. And if you're not at the table voting, guess what? You on the menu.
Wow. Yeah, and speaking of candidates, Al B.J. Williams, Mr. Political Guru, you know, I get a lot of calls about this time of year from mainly seniors. Women, the average age of 88, and they live by themselves in a home. I have no idea why they don't move to a facility or something where they have their peers and they can watch movies and talk about the past. But they say, baby, I was born in this house, and baby, I'm going to die in this house. So nothing more you can do but help them with the city services. But they call me and they say, Reg, who should I vote for? Who are the people on the ballot? Who is this guy? Who is that girl? So let's break down, if you don't mind, some of the candidates in the race for the city election that's upcoming. This August is the primary election, as we know, and, of course, November on Tuesday. The first Tuesday, is the second Tuesday in November or the first Tuesday?
It's actually the first Tuesday in November.
The first Tuesday in November
Tuesday
is the general.
August.
Okay, got it.
Second Tuesday in August is August 8th. The general election is November 7th.
Got it. And on the ballot, we've got the offices of mayor.
Yes.
We've got offices of city council,
city council
city
at
clerk,
large, and
city council at large,
by
the districts. Absolutely, I had a good time helping to carve out that the charter, the city's charter, and that was a great piece for us. And then police commission, something as a charter commissioner, I'm very proud to say we were able to allow the citizenry to appoint or elect people to oversee the police department. So that's a great thing. So let's break down, if you don't mind, the candidates for each particular race.
Absolutely. So in the race for mayor, you have Mike Duggan, Coleman Young, and then there are a few other write-in candidates as well. And then you have a city council at large race, which is there are, I think, 5 candidates. You have Miss McKinney, Elisa McKinney. You have Brenda Jones, who's already the city council president, incumbent. You have Janae Ayers, who's incumbent city council at large. And then you have Mary Waters, who's a former senator. And then you have the other at-large candidate is, what's her name from the east side? It's you know what? I can't even remember her name right now.
You're just like me right now. Well, Mary Waters, by the way, also served on the Charter Revision Commission. I think it was 1990. What was that year? 96, 97, something like that.
1997.
Yeah. So, she's very well known as well. So, okay, so that's the office of
City Council
the
at
City
large.
Council at large. And then, of course, you have the districts, and we don't break all that down. But
and then you have a city clerk race that's also a citywide race.
City clerk.
And
yeah.
So for city clerk, the candidates are the current city clerk was Janice Winfrey. You got Garland Gilchrist. You got Hester Wheeler. You also have Dieta Wilcoxon.
Oh, yeah.
Faustine Amura Awiname, who's also in that city clerk's race. And then you have Ronald Creswell for city clerk. And so those are the city clerk candidates. And city clerk is actually much more important race this year, this time around, than it's ever been before. Of course, because that's your doorway to democracy.
And to the layman, let's go back to junior high school when we had civics.
Yeah.
The city clerk is what?
The city clerk is the person who actually counts the votes. They make sure that they provide information for the city. Actually, for the city clerk is the clerk for the city council. If you really want to know the ordinances and everything that goes through city council, you're supposed to get that information from the city clerk's office. And so, the city clerk is actually a lot more important than we've actually thought because of the charter. Because of the most recent charter commission, thank you very much, Reggie Reg Davis. You have emboldened the city clerk to do a lot more, and when it comes to providing
a lot more responsibilities.
When it comes to providing information and making sure that the community stays engaged in the process.
Yeah.
That's what
the information hub is the office of city clerk. That's right.
That's right. And so it's a very important race. The mayor's race is a very important race. Your city council, as you can see, with the district and the Red Wings and the Pistons coming to the city of Detroit, that's a very important race when it comes to community benefits.
And I'm going to say thanks to the team of city charter commissioners, along with myself, the new way that the police commission is set up, you elect a person that you believe in to oversee the Detroit Police Department. And I think it's a great thing. When we first came out with it, some people were kind of bothered by it, but if you look at it today, it's going to take some adjusting because it's still kind of new, but that's another piece that's going to be on the ballot. Of course, they're set up via districts, and you can vote for your police commissioner.
Absolutely. And then actually, another reason why this race is important is because the charter revision is coming up again.
Wow, that was quick, wasn't it?
It is, and so your next city, actually it's the 2018 will be electing new charter commissioners.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
And
wow.
then in 2020 we'll be voting on the new city charter, which is the governing document that governs the city of Detroit.
Absolutely.
And so that makes this, if you're looking ahead, and how we govern the city, that makes this election that much more important.
A home rule charter.
That's right.
And it's pretty much, once upon a time, everything for the state of Michigan came down from Lansing.
That's right.
Then people spoke up and said, wait a minute, we're not in Lansing, we're down here in Detroit. We have a different something or another going on. Why can't we elect our own government? And the state said, okay, well, as long as you guys don't try to override the state constitution, there's no problem. So you guys put your thing together, send it to us, we'll check it out, and then you can go ahead and vote on it and let your people, vote from your area.
And
so
I want to.
There came, i.e., the home rule charter.
Yeah, and I want to real quick. I want to make sure that I correct myself. The city council at large candidates are Janae Ayers, Brenda Jones, both incumbents, Beverly Kendall
Walker. Yep.
Elisa McKinney and Mary Waters. I wanted to make sure that I got Beverly Kendall Walker is the name that I was thinking of, and she's running for city council at large as well. The mayoral candidates, we have mentioned Mike Duggan and Coleman Young. Everybody knows that they're in the race, but also in the race for mayor is Artisha Bomer, Angelo Brown, Edward Dean, Curtis Christopher Green, Donna Marie Pitts, Donetta Simpson, and of course I mentioned Coleman Young and Mike Duggan already.
Yeah, of course Coleman Young and Duggan will probably battle it out in the general.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Hey, look at here, my man, the 37-year-old political guru.
Man, I'm trying to be like you when I grow up, man. You the charter commissioner,
man,
and the community cousin, man. The hero for the community, man. And your story is important, man. And I want you to stay engaged. Keep getting people engaged. Stay out there in the community, man. You're doing a phenomenal job. I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. Always good working with you, man. Al B.J. Williams, man. Hey, stay out there doing the fight for us, man. We appreciate you. My man, Al B.J. Williams, used to call him the 27-year-old political guru. That was 10 years ago. Now he's the 37-year-old political guru, still doing his thing. All right. Get out and vote. Tell them, man. Get out and vote.
Get out and vote. August 8th. Tuesday, August 8th. Don't forget. Get out and vote. And if you can step up, go vote early. At this point in time, 2 weeks out from election.
In-person absentee.
Go vote in person at the Wayne County Community College. downtown or in Midtown on West Grand Boulevard at the clerk's
yep.
office at the Department of Elections.
There it is.
Or the Wayne County Community College on the west side off of Otter Drive. Those are locations where you can go vote today. So get up, get out, go vote early, and then go support your candidate of your choice and help them win.
Make your voice be heard. Yes, Detroit, we appreciate you. Thanks for watching Mr. Community, Reggie Reg Davis, and Al B.J. Williams. We love you. God bless. 105.1 The Bounce, Mr. Community.
Let's bounce.
Yeah.